What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Eggs, and you may be wondering, Egg bro, why are you doing a video on New Year's? January is almost over. And you may be right, but let me ask you something first. Do you know how long it takes for someone to develop a habit? I'm gonna let you think on that one for a little bit. Alright, so if you guessed 1 to 2 weeks, then that's not it. You're wrong. So most studies have actually shown that it takes the average person around 21 days to develop a habit. And this being the third week of January, that means you likely fall into one out of two scenarios, right? Either you've remained consistent with all your expectations and stayed on top of your resolutions, in which case I applaud you, or the most likely scenario, you failed. Let that sink in for a little bit. Now, as depressing as that sounds, it actually gets worse. According to the US News and World Report, 80% of all New Year's resolutions fail by the time February comes along. February! Guys, that's like next week. Wait, so then that means I can be depressed with others since they all failed too, right? Wrong! Oh, no you don't. That's why today we're going over where most people go wrong in their New Year's resolutions and also how to fix it so you can turn these losses into wins. And also we're going over how failing can actually help you in the long run. Alright, so first off, why should you want to fail? Like, that sounds terrible. Failing at something can help you realize where you went wrong. And let's face it, you have to scrape your knee a couple times before you can actually start running. Like, take me for an example. My first video on this channel actually was my goals for 2018. And boy did I fail. Yeah, that failed miserably. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Now I seem so sure of myself, like what happened? Well, actually I was a victim of the first mistake that most people make, which is not being specific enough. You're being too broad with your goals. Alright, so how do you fix this? So when setting goals for yourself, you want to be as specific as possible. Nail it in the butt. All your goals should be capable of being split into smaller intervals. That way you achieve one at a time. These small increments will ultimately lead you to your goal in the end, but you have to make it step by step. So like most people, I felt trapped. I was a victim. So last year, one of the things I completely failed at was making revenue from my business. I actually expected to make what, like 50,000? My goal instead is to produce 3 private label products by the end of this year. And I know the step-by-step process that'll get me to launching my first product and then the second and then the third. I wasn't specific enough with my goals, and neither are the majority of people. Do it step by step and I'm sure you'll get to the final result. Now the second mistake that most people are making is really overthinking the situation. Most people even overload on information and forget the most important step, which is to take action. Trust me, overthinking things can be your worst enemy. There's a reason why people say tomorrow starts today. You can't be waiting any longer, guys. You gotta get on that. So the third mistake that most people are making is that they're not being organized enough. You see his list? Do that. At the beginning of each day, I make a to-do list, and I don't go to sleep until everything is checked off. I have to do 10 sets of pull-ups, finish a video, post on Instagram, work. You get the point. So the next mistake that I did, and that many people also make when doing their New Year's resolutions, is they don't track their progress. Like, as important as it is to make sure you're doing progress, it's also as much as important to track it. If you accomplish something big, make sure you write it down. I sold my first Amazon products not too long ago, and you're damn sure they're on my calendar. Keeping a written record of everything you've achieved will give you more motivation in the long run. Just keeping track of your progress overall. But the next mistake that most people make is the goals aren't making them happy. The purpose of these New Year's resolutions are not to add more stress to your life, but rather to reduce it in the long run. Now, of course, you're gonna have to make sacrifices, but you still gotta have a little bit of fun with it, you know? Alright, so the last and maybe the most important mistake that most people are doing is they're not staying consistent.
Consistency is key. Consistency is key.
Consistency is key, guys.
I cannot express that enough. The simplest way that I can give you to achieve your goals is to stay consistent and develop a positive habit that will lead you to that end result that you want to get to. I'm gonna give you guys an example that I have for myself. Now, will I achieve it? I honestly don't know, but I'm gonna try. One of my resolutions this year was to train for the world record for muscle ups. So the world record is currently 26 in a row. And I am nowhere near that, but I can do around 10 in a row. But that doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm gonna be able to pop out 27 without any hard work. This is why in my to-do list every day I do 130 pull-ups, and then next week is 140, the week after that is 150. I feel like 10 sets of pull-ups is just the right amount. These small increments will ultimately get me to do more pull-ups in a row. But the point is to stay consistent. Without consistency, you get sloppy, you mess around too much, and you don't get to your goal. That's why 2018 was such a failure for me, man. I didn't stay consistent whatsoever. I fooled around too much, I admit it. But 2019 is a year of no excuses, guys. I'm coming for 2019, and so should you. Now you have the tools to do it. All I know is by the time February comes along, you better not be taking L's, okay? Let me know down in the comments if I missed any tips that you guys might have. You guys actually provide some cool insights sometimes, so let me know if you have anything to add. Also, make sure to check out my Instagram. We're growing a lot there. I'm posting some fresh fits every week, so make sure to give me a follow at Egbert Ortega. It'll be linked down below. So that's it for me today, guys. Maybe you'll be seeing your boy Eggs as a new world record holder. It's not likely, I'm not gonna lie.